it's as simple as this. Sligo Rovers and Ronan Coughlan only need a draw to go through to the Extratime.ie esports cup semi-finals. For Shamrock Rovers, they need a victory. They're controlled by Aaron McEneff. Eric Finn, FIFA professional, as always, is with me. Eric, what are you expecting from this match?
Well, I'm going to really expect that Ronan Coughlan will play as he has throughout the whole tournament, and that's more of the possessed style of gameplay, really. He's always held about 60% possession each game, but that's no means to say that Aaron McEneff and Shamrock Rovers may, challenge him on the possession-based area of this game. But it's going to be a very enticing game for sure. I'm not exactly sure which way it's going to go, but hopefully we can find out soon.
Buckley, formerly of Cork City. Back outside to Banks. Sliding down the line. Coughlan onto it. Turns it into the path of Murray. Murray went backwards and maybe he should have gone forwards, but either way he wins a corner. Cawley to Donlan. Kane. Intercepted brilliantly by Burke, who then loses it. It's gone a bit scrappy. Tension's high in this game, so much riding on it. A crossfield ball, always dangerous, almost intercepted, nodded into the path of McEneff, playing as himself. Bulger, the Wexford man and former Cork City player, goes backwards. Formerly of St. Pat's as well, of course. Rowan Finn, Lee Grace. Jack Byrne. Short to Bulger. Bulger twisting and turning, going to Green. Can Green get the cross in? Goes over the head of Burke. Shamrock Rovers getting it back. Farrugia. Farrugia pursued by two defenders, including Cawley. Does well to win the throw-in. Farrugia. Byrne. Lafferty. Byrne. Byrne tried to squeeze the pass through but couldn't find the intended target. Here's Bulger with a bit of a fresh air swing. Bulger, that's a really good save. And Sligo Rovers stop it from going out for a corner. Here's Mahan. Kane. Sligo Rovers going down the wing. Ronan Coughlan hasn't quite found a rhythm yet, Eric, has he?
No, it doesn't seem so. Usually, as I said, he does like the whole possession, but so far this game it actually looks like Aaron McEneff has actually probably topped him in that sector of the field. But I'd imagine he will kind of get into his stride a little bit later in the game. Just obviously there's going to be a few nerves and tension in this game because whoever does win it will go through to the semi-finals. So there is a lot riding on it, but I'd imagine when time goes by, Ronan Coughlan will come into it a little bit more.
Remember, a draw will do for Ronan Coughlan. Have you seen players play for a draw in FIFA? Is it really possible?
Oh yeah, I've seen people do ridiculous stuff for to try and grind out a draw. I've seen lads pick up the ball with their keeper and just throw it to their centre back, then head it back to the goalkeeper over and over and over again until the full whistle blew, which is very aggravating. And let's hope Ronan Coughlan doesn't do the same.
Well, it's not good from the spectator point of view, not good from the neutral point of view. I think even Sligo Rovers fans wouldn't like to see that. Maybe Ronan Coughlan doesn't know you can do that, and that's why he's not doing it. Lafferty, back inside to Bulger, back outside towards Farrugia, who can't keep it in play.
Yeah, that was an unlucky play, really. He was doing really well down the line. Just a little bit too much on the pass. I think he would have had a real chance of going forward and maybe getting a goal there if it did stay in, but I'd imagine it won't be his last chance, I'd imagine.
Donlan. Kane. Remember all the money we raise from the esports cup, the Extratime.ie esports cup, going to Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. We're giving you little prompts throughout the game as to where you can go to donate to Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. 65 Roses Day can't happen this year because of COVID-19, obviously. So they, like everyone else, have to be a bit ingenuitive in how they fundraise. So support them if you can. Here's Lafferty. Byrne. Byrne lofts it over. It doesn't quite work out.
It was a great idea, really, because to switch the play like that is something we like to see in any sport. It's good to see spread being played, and but unfortunately, it didn't pull off this time. But it is the kind of right idea, to get the play out wide and then come down the line and hope for a cutback. So I think if he keeps that up for the rest of the game, he could be onto a good thing.
Danny Grant and Bohemians, Daniel Kelly and Dundalk, Tariq Wilson of Waterford. They're all in the semi-finals. Who is going to join them? Banks trying to ensure it's Sligo, but Lafferty dispossesses him, slips it to Farrugia, who's pacey. Burke turning and twisting, three around him, but he doesn't really mind. Lafferty back to Bulger. Oh, that's poor from Bulger. DeFries intercepting it, the New Zealand international. 3 times a Australasia Champions League winner with Auckland City. Terry Phelan actually managed in New Zealand, might have been in Auckland. Here comes Cooper. DeFries back to Cooper. Coughlan runs ahead, but he's isolated. Instead, it's to Murray. Murray can't find his man. Oh, it's given away cheaply. Coughlan back to Murray. Murray again can't get it past Grace.
I feel
McEneff on the counter-attack.
It's very lazy football, that just trying to whip it across very early. It doesn't really work this year, and I think Ronan knows that as well. I think he does. His directness is very strange this game. It's not like his usual play.
Here's Green. Oh man! Oh, it's an own goal! Keeper, well, maybe made a mistake there. Maybe he should have been more decisive. Green celebrates. Shamrock Rovers celebrate. But it is Mahan with an own goal who has put his team behind.
Oh my God. I just can't believe that happened. Like, how has... Obviously, Ronan Coughlan mustn't have, wanted to do that or pass it back to his goalkeeper in such a dangerous position. But how that happened, you probably press B, usually clears it. That's how you clear it, is B or circle, depending on which console. And it's so unlucky. The player got a tiny touch in it and the keeper just lets it slide by his foot. It's really unlucky on his behalf.
As it stands, Shamrock Rovers will go into the semi-finals, but Ronan Coughlan and Sligo have a whole half to rescue this, and that, from what we've seen from Ronan Coughlan, is more than a possibility. But what does he need to do in the second half, Eric Finn?
I think he's done well, but especially when something like that happens to you in a game, it's really going to get to you mentally. And I don't think we'll see the same Ronan Coughlan that we have in the past 3 games as we will in this second half to come, because that kind of knocks the stuffing out of you for a few minutes to say the least. But hopefully he still comes out and disciplines himself in the way that he can play, which is kind of slower build up, and he's really good at that. So I think if he comes out with that kind of mentality still strong, he has a good chance of getting back in the game.
Grace Farrugia. Grace waits first and does get it back to Galway, man. Lopez, the Cape Verde Island international player. Finn down to Green. When these two met in the real world a couple of weeks ago, Green chips off the ground while celebrating his goal. A 2-0 or 2-1 win, I think, in Sligo, which is one of the best grounds to go to watch a game of football. Ben Bulben is in the background and it's just spectacular. Oh, they're in behind here. Banks couldn't quite fly the kite into the back of the net.
Yeah, that was really good play. Done very, very well to get in that position. I just feel he did take one touch too many, and it really did cost him the goal there. I think if he shot the touch beforehand and shot straight away, he would have been fine, or very close to being fine. But unfortunately, it goes in his.
Well, the fact that he was able to create a chance will give Ronan Coughlan some confidence. Remember, as we say, a draw will do for him, but Shamrock Rovers are looking for more, and it's Green again who's been a thorn in the side of Sligo. Can Green get a cross in? Drags it back. Puts it inside to Byrne. Byrne looking for that pullback. It looked like a handball. That's definitely a corner, but maybe it could have been a penalty. Here's Byrne to take the corner. Byrne. It's not bad. It's got pace. It's off the line. Not quite sure who got a foot to it, but whoever it was has kept Sligo Rovers in this game.
Yeah, that could prove to be a huge deal in the rest of this game. That was straight off the line, a great power, a great corner. That cross there wasn't as good, but yeah, that could really help Ronan Coughlan in his journey to being in the semi-finals, because if it was that goal gone in, who knows? 2-0 down with a half an hour to go isn't a great look.
Good work from Sligo to get the ball back. Here's Donlan. Remember, a draw will do for Sligo Rovers. Ronan Finn. Green. McEneff. Finn into the path of Green, who loves to drive forward. Burke back out to Green. Great interplay between the Hoops players. Green puts in the cross. It's cut out. Now can they go on the counter-attack? Here's De Vries. Ronan Coughlan's isolated. De Vries goes sideways rather than forwards. Now he's kind of going at an angle, but not a better angle.
Yeah, I feel Ronan Coughlan will have to change his custom tactics soon enough in this game, as you just seen there. Very isolated up front, and hopefully he will change them, because I don't think it's going to get better for him if he doesn't.
He has to score, Ronan Coughlan. Sligo Rovers, a draw will do for them, but at the moment they're 1-0 down. Farrugia. Lafferty. Grace. Bulger. Loves hanging around the centre circle. Sprays the ball around well. Puts in tackles as well. Lopez. Grace. Sweeps it out to Lafferty. Farrugia. Trying desperately not to lose it, but he has. Mahan, who scored that own goal. The difference between the sides so far. Kane. Buckley. Oh, he's given it away. That could be costly. Byrne. Down the line it goes to Burke. Burke, will he just carry it into the corner and waste time? Burke puts in the cross. It's Jack Byrne. It's 2-0. It's Shamrock Rovers, who look like they're on their way to the semi-finals.
Wow, that was a really amazing bit of play there, especially in the middle. He didn't have to put that cross in. He could have stayed out there, kind of played it around, come around the back again, but he ran from the centre right down the right-hand line and crossed in a beautiful ball and finished nicely by Jack Byrne. Fair play to him for going for shot and going for goal, because not everybody would have in that position, especially when that could have given possession away and potentially could have gotten a counter-attack against them. So a great ball and a great goal.
Well, it looks good for Aaron McEneff at the moment, the 24-year-old. Born in Derry, played football with Institute and had a stint at Tottenham as well, as Sligo Rovers go looking for a goal. Played obviously with Derry, Institute in the Irish League, Derry in the League of Ireland. Here comes Buckley. De Vries back into the path of Buckley. Coughlan, Coughlan gets a shot away, but it's off target.
Yeah, it's looking a bit better for him though. I think just that second goal, he's really woken up now. He does have 15 minutes to see if he can get anything back. It isn't a lot of time, but we've seen stranger things in this tournament so far.
Nodded down into the path of a red jersey, the red jersey of Cooper. As it stands, Sligo Rovers are going out, and that's a real pity, because Ronan Coughlan has brought so much to this competition. And again, we're so grateful to the teams and the players who got involved. Aaron McEneff was actually a late enough entrant for Shamrock Rovers, and we're really grateful to him, because he didn't have to do it, but he did, and he's doing it for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, and we're really grateful to him and everyone else who has got involved, everyone who's donated, everyone who's watched this. This is all about kind of keeping us together as a community and trying to fill the void of live football, which we can't possibly do, but we can have a bit of fun and raise a few quid for charity. Green gives it away. Donlan. Out it goes to Cawley. Up it goes to De Vries. De Vries is a long way from goal. Ronan Coughlan is running ahead of him, but he's well covered. Cawley. Lovely switch to Cooper. They need something. They need it really quick. Cooper to the back stick. Coughlan couldn't find Ronan Murray. Lafferty hoists it down the wing, but that's a lovely ball. Farrugia, though, is beaten to it. Here's Banks. De Vries.
I feel Ronan Coughlan with 4 minutes to go. He's giving it away too cheaply. He really needs to be careful where he's passing, because the only thing worse than 2-0 is 3-0.
The statement of the obvious of the year, I think it's fair
Michael
to say.
Owen, I think, said that.
Here's De Vries. They need something, and they need it really quick. They need to put this into the mixer. They need to give themselves a chance. Cawley to Banks to Coughlan. They have that chance. Sligo Rovers, can they get the ball back? Can they have one last go? Will they get one last crack? Shamrock Rovers in the real world and in the FIFA world, though, are really good at hanging on to the ball and passing it about and just making the pitch as wide as possible. Grace, Lafferty, Ferrugia with good skill, and that is that. And Shamrock Rovers are going through to the semi-finals following a 2-1 win against Sligo Rovers. Ronan Coughlan is unlucky, but Aaron McEneff, to his credit, is good. No complaints about the result, Eric.
No, I think that was a very well-deserved win. Ronan Coughlan couldn't really get into it, especially. I feel really bad for him, actually, because when that first goal went in, I'd imagine his head was just gone, and he couldn't play his usual or natural game ever since that goal did go in, just before the halftime break as well. Just in real life, as it is with FIFA, it does affect you going into the halftime break after conceding a goal. And unfortunately, he's out of the tournament, but it was a pleasure to watch over his FIFA gameplay because Ronan played so much different than most people in the tournament. And I guess time will tell now. Aaron McEneff is in the semi-finals against the other three competitors, and I don't really know what way it's going to go, but I'm actually excited for it.
Well, he has joined Daniel Grant and Bohemians, Daniel Kelly and Dundalk, and Tariq Wilson and Waterford in the semi-finals. Shamrock Rovers, Dundalk, Bohemians and Waterford all represented in the semis. A real traditional lineup of League of Ireland clubs. Obviously, for myself, it's a heartbreak that Cork City can't be there, but Darragh O'Connor and Cork City will bounce back. That's it for now. We leave you with the final score. Sligo Rovers 1, Shamrock Rovers 2. Shamrock Rovers through to the last four. Congratulations to them.